back then we really don't know like the species that the fishers are catching, and it does not help that there's hundreds of species and a lot of them look very similar, so we can't train every single fisher to do like a species identification on like hundreds and hundreds of species and know the Latin name. Even though there are pre-existing data collection systems in Indonesia, like logbooks, they don't work very well because they use this very arbitrary groupings. And we realized that we really need to get to that species level. So we partnered with the fishers. We gave them the cameras and a measuring board, and we asked them to take photos of their total catch, and we compensate them monetarily depending on their vessel size. I guess the complication about the fact that a lot of these species have very different sustainability levels. For example, like the juveniles, a lot of them are caught because they don't mature until they're at least like 1 feet. So for these fish who has like a pretty late length at maturity, like most of the time when they're caught, they're still juveniles that they could fit on the plate. But at the same time, like I also understand that it's going to be really hard to always know like the exact species of the fish that you're catching for monitoring. Going forward, really need to figure out like the best practical way to be able to sort of like differentiate the species which has different like vulnerabilities and sustainability levels. Has been exploited for the last like several decades prior to any other areas in Indonesia for the most part. It wasn't a surprise when we saw that light up in our hotspot maps. But yeah, but I guess what we would really like to do is if we have better data, like the highest resolution, to be able to pinpoint specifically where within like the Java Sea region that would be most beneficial or where those juveniles are. A lot of the drive on what the fish species is caught, I think is also based on consumer preference. So the fact that most of Indonesia only know that there is a red snapper and a white snapper is not helping the cause. So I think just sort of like better consumer knowledge on the fact that there's a lot of like red snappers, and we should be demanding for clearer naming on like seafood products, and so that we know exactly what we're buying, might be directing the fishers what should they be catching, like what should they be targeting. Because again, like for the most part, it's not 100% accuracy, but they know where are the places where you can get the large fish, or you can get the smaller fish, or like certain types of fish, like even by changing like not only the location and the depth, but also like the time of day when you go fishing.